Ron Moshier is with the Observer-Dispatch. Another weekend of high school football marches on, and one team remains. Am I correct in saying there's only one undefeated team left?
Yes, Bill, that's right, in our area. Out of whatever, 26 that we cover. 3 weeks into the season, there's only one team that's 3-0, and it's Dallasville.
Yeah.
You know, 3 weeks ago, when we first talked, I said that this could be their year again because they had so many guys who, as sophomores 3 years ago, were thrown into the fire, and they went an un-Dallasville-like 5-4, but still made it to the Section 3 semifinals. Those guys are seniors now, and that would include like Nick Bailey, Devin Goranchek.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, they've been known to run the football, and this past weekend, Asen Kloss, the quarterback, threw 3 touchdown passes as well against a Herkimer team that was 2-0. So they're on a roll right now, and I can foresee, and coaches don't like this, but I'm looking way ahead. When I look on their schedule, I mean, they've got West Canada Valley, the big rivalry, the battle for Bartow Hill. That they still got that to go, but they have been very, very impressive, and I can foresee down the road in the playoffs, Bill, Bishop Ludden again. That could be a big rematch between Ludden and Dallasville, and I watched the playoff game last year. Ludden throws the ball all over the place, has a big quarterback who's about 6'4" and athletic, and has got a receiver that's about 6'4" and athletic, and they just beat a very good Sandy Creek team. So, I really think that come playoff time, Dallasville and Bishop Ludden are going to be the Class D favorites right now, anyway, barring any injuries.
Let's go over to
we did have 2 other unbeaten teams, or 2-0 teams, go into the weekend, and Whitesboro went up north to Carthage and lost 27-20.
Now that was a big loss because that they had a streak going. A win
they
streak
had
going.
A streak going against Section 3 opponents. They've won 2 straight Section 3 titles, so their only losses were outside of Section 3 the last couple of years. And, they hadn't lost since the 2015 opener to Proctor, 14-10 in a really good game.
Wow.
So, I haven't talked to Tom Shane yet, but I'm guessing he's going to say that this could help them in the long run, because they had kind of coasted the first 2 weeks against 2 teams that really aren't that good, Watertown and Oswego. They weren't much of a test. And to go up to Carthage, that's never a picnic up there. Teams around here will tell you they don't like going to the North Country and playing up there. And Carthage is always tough. Sam Millich, the coach there, is outstanding, and they always give Whitesboro a great game. And so, I mean, it was an upset, but it wasn't a total shock. Especially Whitesboro's got a couple kids who are hurt right now. A great running back in Lucas Kassab, who got hurt early in the opener, and we're not sure when he'll be back. I believe it's a foot injury. And the other loss was Bill Gilberti, who is a good linebacker and a running back for them. So, I mean, right now they're not at full strength. I'm not making excuses because they have like a stable of running backs there, but I think it also hurt them defensively to lose those 2 guys, and I'm not sure when they'll be back. So, and Whitesboro, hey, they go to Syracuse this next weekend and play a non-league game against a very good Double-A Corcoran team. So that's going to be another stiff test for them.
There were that Whitesboro game was really a very good game, 27-20. New Hartford lost a close one. Did they lose in overtime this week?
Yeah, they lost another heartbreaker. 2 weeks in a row, Bill. Yep. They are very, very close to being 3-0. Last week they lost a field goal with under 2 minutes to go. They lost 10-7 to Oneida, and that's a game that obviously was winnable. They were knocking at the door right before halftime, and Oneida came up big and stopped them with a goal line stand seconds before halftime, and they wound up losing that game 10-7 on a late field goal. And then this past weekend, I believe they're down 2 touchdowns. They come back and go up by 2 touchdowns, and Mexico scores late, and then New Hartford fumbles the ensuing kickoff, gives Mexico new life. They come down and score with seconds remaining in regulation and tie it up 33-33 and then win it in overtime. So those are 2 heartbreakers for New Hartford back-to-back, or else they could be 3-0.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing them this Saturday. Against a Notre Dame team who's going to be desperate for a win too. That now that New Hartford's in Class B, they're going to play Notre Dame. I've got to look. I can't remember. I'll have to Google this, Bill. I'm getting too old. I can't remember the last time New Hartford and Notre Dame played in a league game in football. So it's been a while, and Notre Dame's going to host New Hartford this Saturday.
Okay, and I got to say, there were some blowouts over the weekend. Like, blowouts I've not seen. I mean, Canastota, 68-6 over Little Falls. 68-6. How about Sherburne, 51-0 over Adirondack. General Brown scoring 70 points on Sequoia Valley. I mean, there's some running up of the score here. Holy moly.
Well, when Section 3 had to revamp their schedule, remember when a couple teams early in the preseason, but late in the process, decided to play 8-man football. So they had to switch around some schedules. And, you have Class D Sequoia going to Class C Powerhouse General Brown, for instance. And, there were some mismatches. Canastota's been Class C power for the last few years, and obviously they've got it going.
Yeah.
And, Adirondack loses big, but I believe Adirondack barely has enough kids to field a team. The last time I looked at their roster, I think maybe 20, 22 kids.
Wow.
And that's a former Class B powerhouse many years ago. So, there are some programs that are struggling, mightily right now. And it just so happened this past weekend they were playing state-ranked teams, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, we're moving quickly. Already through 3 weeks. Manaski with a question.
Just one thought on that. Is it because enrollment's down in those districts, or are kids playing other sports?
Soccer. I'm telling you.
Kids playing other sports, or I think it's both, Jeff. And Adirondack's been the numbers have been down there for the last few years. They were in the NFF, that National Football Foundation that was built to help, promote, to help them get more competitive. Schools, and then all of a sudden they go from the NFF, which, on paper is below Class D level, and now right back in Class C competition, and it's not easy for a team that has like 20 kids and everybody's playing both ways, offense and defense, All
right, Ron Moshier, you can read all about it in the Observer-Dispatch. Ron will be busy tonight, so don't bother him.
And by the way, I like Down. That was great. I was getting goosebumps too listening to Down by the River. So if you can get Tuesday night off for me, I'll go listen to that.
That is going to be and they've got like 30 artists that are all pursuing that are all doing Springsteen music, and what a great example of that. I just thought I was sitting there listening to Springsteen. It was incredible. So,
my wife and I years ago went to a Springsteen. Believe it or not, I think it was Springsteen Elton John concert together in Albany. Wow. It was outstanding.
Yeah, it's a great show. And now you got McCartney coming this week, so that'll be a big one as well. Ron Moshier?
Hey, I love going to concerts where the entertainer is even older than me.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it? And how about...
Hey, my wife and I went to Bob Seger a couple years ago, and it's like, oh, my God.
Yeah, he's that old. And listen, this thing tomorrow night in Chittenango is for Springsteen's 68th birthday. That's what they're celebrating.
Wow.
Bruce Springsteen is 68 years old. It's crazy. So, all right. Thanks, Ron. We'll appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Talk again. Thanks so much, Ron Moshier, Utica OD, and utica.od.com.